What's going on, guys? So, this is a little piece I wrote. You can think of it like a poetic essay. Might be some parts that you kind of gotta take it how it is. It's a reflection of just some truth that I see. Being involved with film and creating has taught me. So, yeah, life is a movie. Sit back and enjoy the show. I know we grow tired of hearing other people tell their stories rather than getting definite answers of our own. But what if I told you that the story of another, someone else's story, is the closest we'll ever get to our own? Think about it. When we get advice from someone who hasn't lived the same exact life, we ask ourselves, what do they know? But the thing is, I know what I've learned from this story of my own. And when I share it with you, your reaction, what resonates, what doesn't, shows to both of us who the other is. And it's the clearest view of you I'll ever have before we meet face to face. Because before then, all I know is that you're another version of me. We're reflections of the same human experience. And you can use me however best I am helpful to you. Otherwise, would you be here if our stories weren't connected? If yours didn't include my own? Understand, stories are much more than they seem. All interconnected. Picture this. You're watching a spin-off of your favorite show. An entirely new story birthed from another. Or did the story exist on its own all along? Does it depend on which show came first? Does which one came first depend on the order in which it was viewed? Or the order in which it was created? Here's where it gets deep. Is there any separation between perception and creation? Once a creation is perceived, it has been born into and introduced into a new world. The moment you see it, it becomes real in your reality. When it was made holds no weight. Its value as a creation lies solely in being perceived. I mean, what else was it created for if not to be seen? Stories are written for both of two reasons: to be lived and to be watched. And in a way, the stories themselves, these narratives, these experiences we share, hold a more important place in time than for those living them. Perhaps this is what we mean by moving towards something bigger than all of us. Could you imagine where the world would be if we hadn't held the power to inspire each other through our own stories, by sharing experiences that add up to become one of their own? We become an organism experiencing itself from many angles, every perspective teaching the same lesson from a different side. Ironically, our only weakness in watching this movie is our ability to watch, or to become aware of watching, at least. The moment we realize we're in the movie, we stumble. In a way, this awareness causes us to trip over the realest thing there is, our own eyes. We get so caught up in analyzing the experience that we forget to experience it. Or, in a way, this awareness causes us to trip up over our own minds. The thing about stories, movies, plays, any film ever lived and made, is that they must be completed in order to be considered themselves. You can't call something a story until it has a beginning, middle, and end. In order to truly complete or read any story, it must already have an end. The story exists as a whole, frozen in time, waiting for you to discover it. Now here's the contradiction we live with. Just like we hate spoilers at the theater, we cover our ears, avoid the internet. Why do we seek what is at the end of our own lives? Why do we obsess over knowing our future when we protect the endings of our favorite films? Do we not understand the concept of a movie? Do we not enjoy the play? Or are we simply unaware of the game we're playing? I encourage us to consider even the language we speak, a language that lies in the meaning of the words themselves. We watch plays, we play games, the same word for two experiences that are almost the same. And so, what do we call the reality in between? What do we call this life we're living? As a race so obsessed with consuming other timelines, binge watching entire seasons, diving into fictional worlds, we should know much about exploring our own. So, I want to thank you guys for listening to that or reading it with me. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what you're thinking. And yeah, make yourself known in the comments, man. Welcome to the tribe. And I'm going to be doing a lot more of these reads, man. So stay tuned. Peace, love, unity. Deuces.